Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, the ineluctable, the ineffable Eugene S. Robinson, author of Fight, the something, the something, the something.
You just giving up completely. You just tapped out.
You're not even selling the book anymore. You got a few Kindle copies? You don't even have
I'm still underwater on the book. That's the only reason I'm pimping it, right? I mean, the way it works with them, you got to get over. I got to cross the line. How much? I'm $4,000 away. I could make those numbers in 2018 if everybody buys one.
Buy the book, and then Eugene will get.
At this point now, the hardcover book only exists on the secondary market, the resale market, but the ebook counts on my tally toward that $4,000.
So buy the ebook. If you buy the hard copy, you're stealing from Eugene. I'm just telling him like it is. And speaking of stealing, Eugene, we need a disclaimer.
Crybabies, bedwetters, grumblers, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that WME, aka Endeavor, has put behind you. Yeah, you don't want to be on the don't care list. It's not our problem. Don't come crying to us. There's one way to get off and one way only. Fight an exciting fight. Until then, don't come crying to us, bedwetters. And that's possible. Clay Collier Greens, all right, Paul Felder, Alex Oliveira, these guys were all once on the DC list. Now they're on the C list. That could be you.
Well said. Brilliantly said. Of course, we won't mention all the people who were once cares who slid into the DC column. But
that's a tougher, harder, more unforgiving list, and in total sad, and not how we want to start our Wednesday.
No, not at all. So we're talking about UFC 221, UFC Perth. And anybody knows anything about geography knows Perth, possibly the most remote Western city on earth. Western as in Anglo, whatever, former British colony. But fucking Cape Town is like the sister city of Perth. Like, you're not hopping back and forth from Perth to Sydney or Perth to Melbourne. I mean, it's Perth, and then it's the Indian Ocean. That is where Perth is. And the irony of this, the only reason they did that was because Robert Whittaker, who the former UFC interim middleweight champion, who then became the undisputed champion after GSP beat Bisping and then refused to defend the title. But then Whittaker's hurt, so now we may, if we're lucky, get another interim belt between interim title fight between Luke Rockhold, who was supposed to fight Whittaker, and Yoel Romero, who now gets a second life after having some steroid issues and some other fiascos. But this is one of those, I can't believe it's a pay-per-view card. Like I said, Saturday night pay-per-view. I think it's 7 a.m. Perth time, which it's bad enough living in Perth. But then to have to get up at 7 a.m. to go to fights. Ay. So we got 3 fights on Fight Pass.
Wait. So what time is the fight? California time. Just help me out.
Regular time. 7 o'clock, whatever, Pacific time.
I'll be at the wine bar. I'm hoping they'll have my water ready. See, the thing is, it gets harder and harder to trick these guys because now I sit down and they just bring me the water, right? It's like, that's no fun. That's no fun. I don't want that.
You got to tip. Eugene. Make it worth their while to bring you the water.
But it's no fun. It's like, listen, this is a tasteless analogy, but you can't look at World War II and the Holocaust without the essential element of it, which was trickery and deceit, right? And this is how you know they were in the grips of a hallucinatory anti-Semitism, because it's one thing to not like somebody and to kill him. Witness the Turks and the Armenians. We don't like you, we're going to kill you. But the whole trickery thing, we're going to resettle you in the East. We got Nazi plans to resettle populations just to make some room. It's the trickery. That's my point.
But your example's terrible because the Turks to this day will not admit that was a genocide. And yet it obviously was.
Well, I guess the thing is where do you employ the trickery? They didn't employ the trickery to get people to go from living to dead. The trickery kicks in later when they say, you killed all those people. They go, what people? Those people you killed. We didn't kill any people. It's a perfect 5-year-old argument. Those people that you think we killed, I don't know how they died.
Yeah.
Well, because you killed him.
I'm not defensive. You're defensive.
As Nathan Sturb, the Turkish version.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Right, so let's get down to brass.
I'm sorry for our Turkish listeners. I can't have this fight with you guys. I know you feel differently about it, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we love our Turkish friends, but yeah, come on, give it up.
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, then there's the Armenian fighter who made a genocide comment on the air and didn't even know the political context, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so we got 3 fights on Fight Pass, 4 fights on Fox Sports 1, 5 fights on the pay-per-view card, and we're going to do the classic how much would you pay for this pay-per-view card. I think they're asking $69, which is crazy, but first up,
it's crazy.
Fight Pass, welterweight, Luke Jumeau versus Daichi Abe.
Oh, what is this? Is UFC what?
This is 221.
221. Okay. Ready? Let's go.
Yes. Luke Jumeau versus Daichi Abe, welterweights.
Do not care.
I don't care either. Sorry,
like John Nash said, it's got to be a fight of significance, and this is not.
Not that, I mean, it could be, and we wouldn't know the difference. That's the thing. That's the thing. So, bantamweight, Teruto Ishihara versus Jose Alberto Quinonez.
Do not care.
I care because I'm still a sucker for Ishihara. He's got just a tiny smidge of hype left, and I'm all in. He's 3-2 in the UFC, or 3-2-1.
So you're in for a tiny smidgen of that. That's 3 fucking tinies, and then top as a modifier for smidgen. So you're in for a tiny smidgen of excitement left.
Yes,
that's enough for you.
Okay. I am crawling around on the carpet looking for what may be the last speck of crack rock or what may be a melted plastic pin cap.
I guess you're taking your cues from your wife. But a big hey,
she's putting those people in jail.
Tiny smidgen. I got you.
Hey, I asked the ladies to be excited. And so I gotta share that with the fellows. Yeah.
You imagine?
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Can you believe last night on the If the Shoes Fit that we didn't touch the Uma Thurman Quentin Tarantino thing? I think that was an oversight on our part.
Well, but I feel like that topic's being chewed.
Or it's a developing story. I think it'll last until next week.
It is. Did you see she reversed herself and now she blames Weinstein for that whole thing? Which is, I don't quite see how Harvey's responsible for Tarantino putting her behind the wheel of a very dangerous vehicle. So
well, they created an environment. Like I had an ex tell me when she was doing all of these really things that she wasn't proud of after we broke up, and she started blaming me. I go, how do you blame me for that? I didn't tell you to have sex with strangers. She said, well, you created an environment where anything was possible.
I see. It is your fault, Eugene. It's time we fessed up.
So you're picking Ishihara.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm not confident in that, but I'm excited. There's a tiny...
I'm blanking opposite you, so you have a possibility of moving ahead, or you have a possibility of starting out falling behind. That's okay.
Yeah, I could get there could be nothing for me to gain here. And now this, I presume, is a fight that they are using to sell Fight Pass. Because sometimes I like to put a fight on Fight Pass that maybe should be higher up.
Man, Fight Pass, that's an exciting technology.
It's streaming right to your home. Cut the cable. No TV needed.
I don't imagine how it could be any better.
It can't get any better, except if they had the fights you wanted to see. But
for those of you listening on the radio, iTunes, I am now making the universal sign of jerking off with my right hand. So
you jerk off with a ballpoint pen in your hand? That must be.
Hey man, hey.
Painful. What is that?
Whatever the moment demands.
I see. All right, so I just had a vision of like bookkeepers with the green hats and the little sleeves, just yanking out a quick one. All right. So they got Ross Pearson at lightweight versus Mizuto Hirota, who I once.
Whoa.
Yes.
This is what you call what is that, man? Lits lost in the supermarket. Nah, I'm gonna say fucking Dark Star, where you hear their name and you go, oh my God, I thought he was retired. Wasn't Ross Pearson retired? I swore to God he was retired.
He's 1-5 in his last 6 fights, and he's, you take that out 2 fights more, and it's 2-6 in his last 8 fights. So yeah, I mean, he hasn't put together back-to-back wins since, oh my God, 2012 and 2013, and he hasn't had a 4-fight win streak since 2010.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah,
And who's he fighting on this one?
Mizuto Hirota,
Yeah.
who at one point had a 4-fight and 1 draw win streak. He had a draw with my boy Ishihara, but yeah. So I mean,
I don't care. I'm proud to say I can't fuck around with these guys, man. I can't
harsh.
No, it's not even it's not even harsh. It fits the tone and the timbre of the time. I care about this fight clearly as much as a bald one cares about this fight.
Ouch. I mean, he's sending him to Perth. You think Dana's going to be in Perth?
I don't think so.
I'd be pretty astonished if Dana or Ari Emanuel are in Perth. And the Fertittas are not in Perth. That's for fucking sure.
Yep.
So now
if I had a $36 million beach house, I wouldn't be in Perth either. I'd be trying to figure out what room was where did I put my gun again?
I'd have a gun in every room.
Still, the question would remain the same. Because the rooms would be big enough so you wouldn't know exactly where you had, in your moment of cleverness, put it, right?
Maybe it's under this pile of drugs. I'd better take them all just to be sure.
Because David Bowie will be showing up any minute.
And you know what a nose that guy has. All right. Did you know David Bowie was partying with Glenn Hughes, the 3rd bass player of Deep Purple, during the making of Station to Station? Like this was his close confidant and snorting buddy.
That's kind of weird.
Isn't it? It just shows you at a certain level the rock stars all love each other. Whether
I don't think it's that. Because he used to be a friend of Bowie was a friend of a friend of mine, and he remembers like having these weird moments where like the phone would ring and he'd pick it up. Back in the days when people would pick up phones, and it'd be like David Bowie, and he's like, "Hey, Dean." He's like, "Yeah, oh, hey, Dave, what's going on?" This is fucking weird. And he's like, I got a question for you. And he's like, yeah. Hey, do you think I'm still relevant? He's like, David Bowie is calling me, asking me if I think he's still relevant. Jesus Christ. It's like
that's a heavy burden to carry, man.
John Cougar Mellencamp when he fucking when he got a call from Bob Dylan saying, hey, you want to help me with a lyric? It's like once you're part of that club, man, all kinds of things can fucking happen, you know?
Ouch. I'd hate to have to, the late David Bowie, of course, pray to him every night, but I'd hate to have had to carry his insecurities while he was alive. That would be, heavy burden. All right, so I care about Ross Pearson and Mizuto Hirota for both guys, even though they're both, like I said, they're squeezed out washcloths at this point.
You dropped out a bit there. Say it again.
I'm saying I care. Pearson, Hirota, they're both wrung out washcloths at this point, maybe even a little mildewy.
No,
but I'm still scrubbing my face happily. So, moving on. Fox Sports
1960s film. They shoot horses, don't they? I'm sorry, I can't care. You have to make a pick because you cared, though.
I pick Hirota.
All right.
Because Pearson is done. All right.
So you have an all Nihon card so far. Okay, good.
You know how I roll.
Yep,
you know how I roll.
Yep.
All right. So. Fox Sports 1. This is we're moving to the pay cable portion of the card. Flyweight Jussier Formiga, aka Jussier da Silva, versus Ben Nguyen.
Nguyen. I would have cared about this fight. This is an interesting fight. I would have cared about this fight a year and a half ago, back when I still had hope.
Back when you had hope, but now
Martin Luther were here. He'd say, "Hey, Rick, I have a dream." back when I had dreams and wasn't quoting Slick Rick.
If he was here, his kids would be rolling him up to do some commercial endorsements.
Yeah, man, he'd be getting them all hyped for the military parade that Trump is trying to put together. A military parade.
I wonder if his kids' managers were like going, "Hey, man, did you see the Prince hologram? Next time it could be your dad."
Yeah,
hologramming it up.
Hey, man, I talked to the military guys I roll with here, and they were like, fuck, we hate parades. We're military and we hate fucking parades. Generals like parades. Grunts don't like fucking parades. You know,
it's demeaning. It's demeaning. So you don't care about Formiga and Nguyen. How do you
nope.
say it?
Win.
Nguyen? Nguyen.
No,
Nguyen.
a year and a half, I would have. I had been in the bag for Jussier. I'd liked him for quite a bit, but I just
He's
can't.
pretty limited just as a, I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah.
know, that's submission guy's skill set only goes so high in the UFC and tops out. And Quinn is a fun fighter and is still, he just had the one loss to Louis Smolka, but it was a beating. I
So
don't know.
you care?
I care, man. I can't help it. I can't help it.
No, yeah, I know what's going on. I know what's going
What?
on.
Somebody, I'm the real hardcore fan and you're the fair weather lightweight?
Yeah, nah. Kid Nate is reading the tweets that you guys said, and some guy was saying, "Oh, Nate is past it. He's not enthusiastic about things anymore." So Nate is responding to it by being enthusiastic
I
about.
didn't say I was going to watch. I just said I can.
Okay, there you go.
Come on, I'm going to check the highlights. I'll be checking Bloody Elbow for the results.
Okay, so who's your pick?
I got to go with Quinn.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
A name I used to pronounce as Nguyen, and then some Vietnamese cat told me, "Matt, it's Nguyen." I go, "Oh, hey, okay, thank
in
you."
my benighted ignorance, I said Gwen all the time, but you know, and
You
probably
say,
like
you
I
say
knew
Nguyen.
something.
I think it did it. The Munsters TV show, Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn, yes, and of course the great Tony Gwynn of the Padres, the only great
Yeah.
Padre. All right, now featherweight Jeremy Kennedy. I believe he gave the speech after the State of the Union versus Alexander Volkanovski.
Don't care.
Yeah, no, sorry guys. All right, middleweight Rob Wilkinson versus Israel Adesanya.
I don't care.
I don't care either. Lightweight Damien Brown versus Don Hyung, not Stun Gun Kim, the maestro.
Yeah. Don't care. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't either. It's I mean, give me the real Stun Gun. Come on.
I'm digging down deep on this one, man. It's like now
So far you got a perfect slate, and now we're getting to the pay-per-view, and I mean, we're talking about
there we go. Look at it. Look at it and weep.
That's pay-per-view worthy, and two other fighters that are marginally pay-per-view worthy. Marginally.
All right. Bust it out.
And they're not in pay-per-view worthy fights. So we got first up the opener, light heavyweight Tyson Pedro versus Saparbek Safarov.
Almost because of Safarov, but not quite. Who was the kid? Whatever happened to Tyson Griffin? I just remember
Tyson
that guy.
Griffin? He retired ages ago. He got run out of the UFC. I mean,
yeah, what happened? Why did he get run out?
I mean, because he lost and lost and lost, man. He got knocked out by Gomi. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. I do
the ghost of Takanori Gomi knocked his ass out. So
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So no, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro's coming off a loss to Ilir Latif. Both of these guys are coming off of fucking losses. And Safarov lost to John Vellante by TKO. I mean, it was a great fight of the night, but still.
No, I think that's all you have to say right there. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're opening up when your reward for losing a fight is, hey, you get to open up the next pay-per-view. Oh, my God. These are dark days. Dark days. All right, welterweight. Jake Matthews versus Li Jingliang, the Leech.
Oh man,
who I count as one.
I gotta say I care, man. I gotta care.
Yep.
And I'm picking Lee.
Yeah, I gotta go with him too. He's got a 4-fight win streak going, so
man.
I think Matthews though is a tough opponent for him. But
it's a put up and shut up moment. But whatever. This is the first thing on the card that I've actually, if I was in the kitchen, drinking wine, I'd go, oh yeah, hey, hold on, and I'd wander back out to the TV.
I see. Or you might ask for a water refill before this fight.
Oh yeah, if I'm not at somebody's house and I'm in a pay-per-view establishment, I'm getting another glass. Yeah, hey, and the guy comes over thinking he's got his order. I go, the water, but with some lemon.
If you tip him like he was bringing you a glass of wine, he would be just as happy. I mean, you got to do the economics of these things.
Well, tell me who tips for glasses of water? Does anybody?
Somebody who cares about the good nature of the service. I mean, it's like I knew guys that would go to strip clubs and not get dances, but they would pay the ladies for their time just to chat. And those guys would actually sleep with strippers. So, Of course, most of the guys who actually slept with strippers never give them money under any circumstances. I'm sure you've done this, been to a strip club with a whole group of musicians, and half of them will be a third of them will be complete suckers, just throwing out whatever little money they have. They're not getting anywhere. A third of them are complete naifs who have no idea what they're doing in the strip club in the first place, and they might blunder into something. And then a third of them are straight up predators who are looking for their next grocery store, restaurant meal ticket. And it's very interesting to see those dynamics play.
I'm sort of happy and impressed that you believe that my life and I roll a bit harder than that, but I'm not hanging out in strip clubs with other musicians. In fact, I've been doing music since 1980 and have never done that once.
Not even for I'm thinking of a bachelor party.
Nope.
Well,
nope. No, I went to a strip club with some guys down in Camarillo back in 1981, and that happened to include my guitar player and my drummer. And I kind of looked at them and I was like, why the fuck are we here? And they said, oh, John Alamillo dragged us here. It's like, let's get the fuck out of here. These chicks are not sleeping with a guy with a mohawk. What the fuck am I? And I've seen naked women before, and I have no money. So let's go.
You're probably the kind of guy who walks in to a psychic and says, this is a scam, and walks out. You might not even walk into the psychic establishment in the first place. Come on. Board-certified psychic might have a lot of insight.
But the thing is, I have dated strippers, right? But I didn't meet the strippers in the strip clubs. I met women who said, I'm a stripper as a job. And I'm like, well, it doesn't have anything to do with me. Let's date. And that's something that happens.
That's a much easier route.
Yeah. And the best thing is to accompany them to work. Because most strippers have boyfriends that is either if they're not the predator types, are the ones that are super crazy and fucking jealous. And the second they start dating a stripper, are trying to get the stripper to stop being a stripper, you know? Yeah. So I've been to the strip club with my girlfriend who was a stripper, and the whole club was like looking at me like, oh my God, he's gonna flip, he's gonna roll, and you're just sitting there kind of, whatever. She's fucking, this is her job, man.
It's like watching her deal 3-card Monty.
Yeah,
you don't get all. You're not up there yelling, "No, red's on the left, red's on the left."
Right.
No, you just go up to the guys quietly and drop a bunch of money, and you're like, "She doesn't really like you, dude."
Yeah, right.
There's no sex in the VIP room, right? Okay, just tell me.
Well, it depends. It depends.
But you tell them that after they come out of the VIP room with their pockets inside out. And
what keeps that working is that typically there's usually one woman on the staff who is delivering the VIP room plus, and that makes it harder for the other girls.
That's the thing. If I've heard that if you have enough strip club experience, you will occasionally find these exceptions to the rule. It can be very disconcerting. All right.
And also, people are making decisions based on how you look too. If you're a fucking toad, it's not gonna help. If you're a handsome guy, they might be like, okay. I wouldn't know because, like I said, I don't hang out in strip. I think they breed.
Really honed your "I look like an undercover cop" act. They could go either way.
Yeah, I think it breeds impotency. Is my feeling. So.
Quite possibly right. All right, so. Yeah, I know the thought of having some skank all over me with the shitty perfume and the sweat. Yeah.
In fact, a friend of mine asked me to meet her at a strip club where she was working, and actually, it's Natividad, the Russ Meyer woman, and
a legend.
Yeah, right. And she was dancing at the Market Street Cinema. She said, "Meet me there. I'll put you on the list."
At the time.
No, this is back in the 80s. So this is she was 30 years ago. She was about 40 at that point. And I
in
went.
Stripper years, that's like 99.
Yeah, well, she was a featured performer. And so I'm waiting for her in the audience. I have to sit through a couple of the strippers. That's when they started lap dancing in earnestness. She'd come up to me and said, "Hey, you want a lap dance?" And I don't believe I said this. And I didn't mean to come out to say it. I wanted to sound like this, but I go, "Nah, I just washed my pants." I could have just said no. I wasn't thinking. I just said what was in my head, which is Yeah. Pants are clean. I don't need to sweat.
Ouch.
Whatever.
Ouch. Yeah. All right. So now we're to the third fight on the card. And have we rolled out any money for the two fights on the pay-per-view card so far? I paid $5 for the Leech fight.
Yep. Okay. Good.
All right, so we're both in for $5.60 to go. All right, now heavyweight Tuivasa versus Cyril Asker.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I mean this is on the fucking pay-per-view cards. Like, I mean, Jesus. Yeah. Tuivasa, though, he's undefeated, so kind of intriguing. But
no, I see them working with these fights, but it's, again, not enough to get me out of the kitchen. Maybe if somebody's sitting and watching and they text me, "Go fuck you got to get," and then I'll go running, But before then, no.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So anyway, but Tuivasa is actually kind of intriguing. But but I don't care. Sorry. And now we come to the co-main event. I can't believe this. Heavyweight Mark Hunt, pay-per-view worthy. I mean, this is like the ghost of Mark Hunt, the shell of Mark Hunt versus Curtis Blaydes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love Mark Hunt.
How can you not love Mark Hunt? But literally, this is a guy whose UFC career starting 10 years ago had the feeling of, I feel guilty watching this guy take more brain damage, and that was a decade ago.
All right, okay, I'm gonna do this. I can't bring myself to not care about a Mark Hunt fight because I know, using the kitchen wine test, I would leave the glass and the bottle of wine in the kitchen and make my way to a TV. If somebody said Mark Hunt is up, then I'm in. So I got to say I care. The hurting thing will be now, how much do I care? And I'm not even giving this 10. I give this another 5.
Yeah, I give this a 5.
And I'm picking Hunt because I hate the way Blaydes fights.
I got to make it interesting, just because I'm a negative Nancy kind of guy. It's just the bad guy's gonna win here, Eugene.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're picking Blaydes.
I'm picking Blaydes. $5. $5. So we've got $10 for this fucking card going to the main event, which is not even the actual main event we wanted. What would you have paid for Whitaker versus Rockhold?
15.
Yeah, I might have even gone 20.
Yep.
Because it's a fight that matters. It's a fight where I care about both guys. I'm familiar with them. I care about both these guys, Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold. But this whole feeling of another interim fucking title fight, we're not even getting the actual interim champion, which is Whitaker. This is nowhere near the lineal title. Nowhere. The GSP took the lineal belt and just spirited away with it. Bisping was already a sideshow for the division. And then GSP comes along and ganks him and goes into the mist with the belt. And now Whitaker's hurt. So we get Yoel Romero versus Luke Rockhold, which is a fine fight, but Romero's, the mystique is gone, man. Whitaker schooled him, and how long's it been since Romero got busted anyway?
Oh man. Oh, that hurts to have to hear it. Probably had to have said, but you're right. It's a consideration.
Yeah, let's see. He 6 month suspension. Yeah, he got his suspension cut. He actually won his appeal, and that was after that was an out of competition thing in the beginning of 2016, and that was from a tainted supplement. So, but newsflash, any supplement that works is tainted. That's how you know if you're getting a tainted supplement.
Yeah, I provisionally care. I care.
Yeah,
but
you gotta care.
I care, but I care under protest, right? Because you know what this means, right? You do know what this means. This means that I'm willing. No, I've got 3 cares on this card, but this means I'm willing to hijack my entire fucking Saturday night for 3 cares on a card. That's fucking nuts, okay? You're asking me to ask my wife to fucking forego movie, restaurant, dancing, time with her friends, parties, so I can watch 3 fucking fights, 2 of which I'm lukewarm on, and 1 that's completely, from a fight perspective, totally unnecessary. You're asking for, and on top of it, you want me to pay $69 for it? Again, how reckless can you get?
Exactly. Try, in my situation, clear, get rid of the kids, talk the wife out of whatever we might be doing, spend $65,
69
from her perspective on less than nothing, and then she's in bed asleep before the main event's over, so I'm not getting any sex. It's just like the opportunity cost here alone is fucking immense. Like, you know,
and I have to tell you, if I look in that fucking arena and I don't see the bald one sitting cage side, the show stomper on Sunday is going to be savage.
Savage. So you heard it here first. The show stomper on Sunday, which will probably be sneaking into some bloody elbow posts, even if Knuckle Up isn't. So, you know. So anyway, that's our show. We care.
Hold on. We care. You didn't make a pick.
I didn't make a pick. Yes. Oh, we got to make a pick about this. Let's see.
Yeah, we have to choose.
I gotta go with Romero, man. I mean, does Rockhold have the savvy to ride out the blitz?
Yeah, I feel okay picking Rockhold, and I do that because he's a known associate. You know, I'm friends of Knuckle Up. I've had Javier on the show before and interviewed him, and Kane and DC. Yeah, avoided interviews with Josh Thompson, and you know, I mean, AKA, my kid took her first steps at AKA, so I will pick Rockhold, and not just because of those reasons. I think that he's working with top class wrestlers, and their striking program is nothing to, you know.
I just lost so much confidence in him when Bisping rolled him. I mean, you know, he's not going to be.
He didn't take him seriously, and he said that, and that was a mistake. That was a tactical fucking error that you can't educate against. You know, I mean, Javier had him do everything that was right except take this guy seriously, and that's just something in his head. He just wasn't willing to do it. You know.
Yep. And you got to take Romero seriously. Like, there's no, you can't be sentient and not take Romero.
No, I think he is. I mean, he's figured out the two-step that Cody Garbrandt is now just figuring out, and that's that. You know, if you lose that belt, then you are at the behest of the fucking elements, and TJ Dillashaw purposefully is going to fuck you over because why not? Why not? TJ Dillashaw himself said it. He goes, I had to wait 2 years. Guess how long you're going to wait? As long as I want you to.
Did you know Rockhold didn't train with the AMA for this fight?
AKA.
AKA. That's what I said. That's what I meant. AKA. Yeah.
For this one, I did not know that. Why?
Yeah. I don't know. The comments are saying.
Where did he train?
I don't know. Type it in, people. Let's see. I don't know. That's all I got. I got incomplete information. So.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm picking Rockhold. You're picking Romero. How much?
How much? What? How much are we paying for this fight? I already said $20.
You said you might. You didn't say 20 definitively. All right.
I'll pay 20. I'll pay 20.
No, I'm not going for 20. I'm going for 15.
Yeah. But this is like, I mean, it's like I'm going to be watching a fucking encore presentation of this because I'm not giving up Saturday night with the wife for this. So, you know, this is not worth giving up a date night for. Not even close.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, and how are we going to get remunerated for? So I'm willing to spend $25 on this. It's a $70 fight essentially. Well, how do I get my $50 back? That's why I'm not ordering anything but water.
There you go. He trained with Demi Lovato at the Black Zillions Combat Club to dissolve the Black Zillions gym. So
yeah, can I lower it from 15 to 10?
You might have to.
He's training with Demi Lovato. Really? Okay, man. That's I can see how that works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It's all right. Well, that's the show. That's the show. Right. Stay tuned for the MMA Vivisection with Zane and Connor later today. Zane and Eddie will have the 6th round right after the fight Saturday night. Eugene will have the show stomper, not on this channel. You have to go to the Eugene S. Robinson Show channel for the show stomper.
It's patreon.com/thestomper. THE Stomper. STOMPER, named after my favorite street move.
Well, there you go. The curb stomp. Just
I didn't say anything about the curb. If I get you on the ground, that leg is working like a piston. You're not getting up.
It's like old school Shogun Hua.
Yeah, exactly. Or Gil Melendez. I put a picture in the fight book of Gil fighting in Pride where he's just stomping the fuck out of a guy. I was like, yeah, you gotta put your back into it, you know.
That is why we love this beautiful sport. Indeed. And we'll be back next week with Alexi Old on Tuesday night for If I Did It and if the shoes fit. So just like we did last night. So watch all that. Follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. Subscribe to MMA Nation on YouTube, MMANation.com, DOTCOM. MMA Nation on iTunes. Get the audio without the ugly. Eugene
or Instagram, Mr. Sleep 3. That's me at Instagram. But if you don't have posts on your page, I don't let you in because I think you're a spy. So there you go.
Because he wants to see your girlfriend, people. That's what he's really.
Get out of here. Our audience is all gay. Come on.
Well, they're not. You want to see their boyfriend.
Exactly. Huh? There you go. There you go.
That's right. That's right. How did a loser like you get a sweet twink like that? That's the question.
Yeah. You're hanging out at the Eagle? I got to hang out there more.
All right. So give us a thumbs up below the screen.
A thumbs up?
Flipping off the camera.
That's not a thumbs up? That's yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
right below.
There you go. Is that on my plugs? Oh, read Eugene at Aussie.com. Read me at BloodyElbow.com. Check out my rock and roll history podcast, Let It Roll podcast.com. And I believe that's all our plugs. So adios, Eugene. Adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you.
All right, man. Go see Black Panther.
Black Panther. Is it good?
I'm psyched. I'm gonna go see it Friday.
You're just being racist. That's reverse racism.
Yeah, okay.
My wife got me the comic book, and honestly, it didn't do that much for me.
It wasn't one of my favorite comic books. You know, I used to be a big comic book guy, but that was not one of my favorite.
It was. I mean, when Black Panther, in the context of the Fantastic Four, was awesome, but when he was in the Avengers, wasn't as good. And like,
what was that? What was the Defenders? I think it was. It had Gorgon. The guy that was.
That's
one of
the
my
Inhumans.
Inhumans, thank you. That was one of
their TV show sucked, and it's
that was one of my big unsung comic books that nobody else seemed to like, but I really dug them because of Gorgon.
Well, the original Jack Kirby Stanley Fantastic Fours with the Inhumans, just like the Black Panthers, were awesome.
Yeah,
but the TV show revealed the Inhumans were just a rehash of the X-Men concept.
But it's not consistent, right? Because I hated the Batman comic books, but the movies have been actually pretty good.
Well, that's because Batman is a great character.
Correct.
And so it's just like Silence of the Lambs was a shitty paperback pot boiler, but in the hands of Jonathan Demme becomes a classic. Batman is this archetypal character, even though the comic books, honestly, were never that great until the 60s with Neil Adams and all that. And even then, weren't that great. But whereas Daredevil, who's had some great comic books, like under Frank
shitty
Miller,
TV show,
because it's just the Batman concept with the twist of being blind. That's all Daredevil is, and it was it was glaringly apparent.
If I wanted that, I would go with James Franciosa. What was the TV show where he played the blind detective in the 70s?
Dude, even I don't know. Even I'm not old enough for this reference. That's
oh God,
Kolchak the Night Stalker. No, that's not.
No, I want to say Ironsides is the wheelchair guy. Then they went through this whole disabled person detective story. So you had the Ironsides in the wheelchair. I think James Franciosa is the blind detective. I can't remember his name.
You know why they did the blind detective show? It wasn't because of Ironside. It was because of that movie Wait Until Dark, where Audrey Hepburn plays a blind woman who gets in a conversation
with Alan Arkin.
Who is the scariest, most evil motherfucker in that movie.
Which is shocking because he's such a great comedic actor, but he did bad guy really well.
Oh, really, really well. And that movie, just skip to the last 20 minutes and you can skip all the setup. But the last 20 minutes are fucking gold. Anyway, so an extra 10 minutes of bonus chatter, guys. Don't say we don't deliver. All right. See you next time, man.